Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Off the Hook Outdoors. I'm Ted, your host. Today's video, I'm heading down to my tree stand here by the house. I'm going to be putting up a mock scrape using Jinx'Em Scents. I got a few little things that I want to show you today that I do differently than a lot of other people. I like to be a little different when I'm doing my mock scrapes. I'm very scent free and things like that, so I'll be wearing rubber boots, rubber gloves, sprayed down. So I use the ElimaShield products for that to be scent free. Very good products, so go check them out in my description of my video. Also go over and check out the Jinx'Em Scents, all the products and everything. You're gonna really like them. They work awesome. I've never had scent work like this. I am actually putting out all synthetic today, and I like this synthetic because in my head I believe it lasts longer. So I put out the synthetic like Misfortune. I'm gonna have the dabs. I got something a little neat to show you for the dabs that I do as well. And a couple things that I do my mock scrape differently. Now I have a vine down there that's been hanging since last year, and I know they're hitting that already. But I'm gonna put the Mystic on the vine again and just get it all fired up again. We got about a month before the season here that I'll be hunting, so I'm gonna get it up there. I'm gonna put a camera on it as well. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the video. All right, guys, so we made it to the woods and we're walking up to our stand, and I'm going to show you my scrape location. I haven't been up here in a long time, so we're going to get up there. We're going to make our mock scrape. We're going to put our cameras on it. The deer should be bedded down. That's why I like to wait till like 11, between 11 and 1, because I feel that the deer are back in their beds already and they're settled down. The bedding is only maybe within 100 yards of my stand. So when I go in here, there's always deer up on this ridge too that sit up on this hilltop. So I try to be as quiet as possible getting to my stand. So we'll see. Hopefully we don't kick any big bucks out. But there's a couple in here from last year that I got on my camera. If you haven't went to the video, go check that out. Last year with the Jinx'Em mock scrapes and the update video. And like November 17th, I had a couple nice bucks here that are going to be huge this year. And there was a third buck that I didn't see. I seen him in the camera walking by, but I couldn't tell what he was. So hopefully this year I get to put eyes on at least one of those, and I'm hoping that this, well, I know this mock scrape will get them in for sure. So we're going to go up and put the mock scrape in and let the Jinx'Em Scents do its thing. So stay tuned. All right, so on this flat here, you can see this is to the right of my stand. Those deer usually bed down here. So nothing was on there yet. And you can see my tree stands up there. So let's go put this mock scrape in and get out of here. Okay, we'll be back. All right, guys, so I got to the location. Here's my vine right here that I have hanging. You can see there's some stuff growing up, but that doesn't mean that those deer aren't hitting this vine. Now, there is a little scrape right here, just a very small one, like maybe the size of a large dinner plate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna doctor this up to make it more attractive to the bucks and deer. We want all kinds of deer coming in here. We want the does hitting it, we want the bucks hitting it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually I'm gonna go through what I have here. And I have the Jinx'Em limb liquor in my bag here. I have the Misfortune dabs. That's the dominant buck scent. That's in the beads. And then I have the synthetic misfortune liquid as well. And then what I wanted to show you guys is everybody's been asking Sean and Dawn about spray bottles for the Mystic. Well, what I did was I just went on, if anybody wants to link to these bottles, this is an atomizing bottle. I put my Off the Hook logo on here. This is an atomizing spray bottle you can get on Amazon, so I can leave that link in the description of this video. But I take the Mystic and I just squirt it into this spray bottle. Now, there was a way that I did it last year, whereas I cupped my hand on the vine and put the liquid in my hand and I rubbed it into the vine. But this year we're gonna use the atomizing spray with my hand, and I'll show you how I do that. But if anybody wants an atomizing bottle, all you gotta do is go online, go to Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description, and you can buy yourself a bottle. Because I know people have been asking Sean and Dawn about a spray bottle for the Mystic. So let me get to it here. Let me put my rubber gloves on first. Always bring a rubber gloves. Always bring your saw. I have my rubber boots on, and I have the Shield products on me. The spray foam, the field spray, and I spray my boots down and everything with it. It keeps me as scent free as possible. When I'm doing this, I want to eliminate human scent as much as possible. So I'm going to put these rubber gloves on, and I'm going to show you what we do here. All right, guys, so another part of my gear is I have one of these little rakes. This is like a garden rake that you don't have to bend over. It has a long, like, broomstick handle, and it has a little rake on it. You see everybody scraping the leaves out of the scrape. So what I do is I just use this long rake, and what I'll do is I'll just scrape this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut and knock these weeds down, and I'm going to cut all these weeds out of the scrape. So this is all going to be fresh and ready to go. So what I'll do is I'll scrape the heck out of this with my rake. Right below this, I'll take all these unwanted vines off of here. And once again, I do have rubber gloves on. So let me scrape this where I want the scrape to be, and then I'll fine tune it. And what I do, guys, is I also scrape one way. A deer doesn't go in there and throw it in the front and the back and on the side. He scrapes one way. So I pull it down. I always pull it downhill. So we're gonna do this. And I'll make it pretty big. But there is some vegetation growing in here, so what I gotta do is I gotta physically pull that out or cut them off, because a deer scrape doesn't have anything growing in it. And that's pretty important to be like a natural scrape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull these out right now, and then we'll be back. Alright, guys, so what I did was I cleared this out. I got it clear of all the debris. All the debris is out of here. I want to make it pretty big. There's a worm in there, so that's good soil. But we're just clearing this out. And once again, guys, like I always said, this fresh earth, when you scrape up this dirt, the deer also smell that. And they come into that as well. And the Jinx'Em Scents just fires everything up and starts attracting them and makes it a place they want to be. So, but what I did was I got everything scraped off pretty clear, okay? It's very clear, as you can see. And I'll zoom in on this as well. And then what I want to do now is I don't want to put my scent in here and then go step in here and do this vine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the Mystic, okay? And I am going to spray this down with the Mystic. You can see how it atomizes and it coats this vine really, really well. I'm going to go up pretty high to get that scent out there. And I'm going to do the whole vine. And I like to wet it and almost have it like drip. So I'm going to say I like to get it on there. So I do about 20 pumps on the vine itself, and that's all you do with the Mystic, okay? Put that on the vine. That just ignited that vine really well. So then what I'm going to do, guys, is this dirt is very dry. okay? So what I do is I always bring a bottle of water with me, take a drink, and what I'll do is I'll just sprinkle it in the scrape, a little bit of water in the scrape, just like so. And what that does is it helps hold the scent. Once that soaks in and gets wet, when you put your scent in there, it helps hold the scent a little bit longer. So that's what I like to do. I like to wet it, okay? So then what we'll do is, let me put this back in my pocket here. I'm trying to be as quiet as possible, but this water bottle is loud. So then I get the misfortune, the synthetic dominant buck urine, and I'm going to just put dots around it, because they could be coming from the top, the bottom of this scrape. So I just put a couple dots in, and then I squirt the deer pee all around it, okay? So I use about a half a bottle. You don't have to use a half a bottle in your scrapes, or a whole bottle. I mean, the deer pee is 4, 6, 8 ounces at a time. So you could dump your whole bottle in here and be fine. You won't overdo it if you do that. A lot of people think they can use too much urine, but in a scrape, the deer are peeing in it. So they use 4 to 6 ounces at least. And this is a 2-ounce bottle, so what I do is I use about 1 ounce. And I put it in there just to get it going, the scent going. And then I have a half a bottle left, okay? So then, my little trick is I either use the back end of my broomstick, and what I'll do is I'll dig a hole. I'll put a hole down in the scrape, okay? And what that's gonna do is that is gonna contain these misfortune dabs that Jinx'Em uses, okay? These are the scent beads. Now I will sprinkle the beads over the scrape a little bit to keep it like sort of going, but these beads are awesome. They're green, and what you do is I go uphill a little bit because they're gonna fall. So I put just a few beads in the scrape itself, but then what I do is I dump a bunch of the beads in the hole that I just made to contain the dabs into one spot. And if you guys have ever seen like the other scent companies that have like scented dirt and things like that, they're infusing their scent in the dirt. Well, that's basically what I'm doing right here with the scent and the dabs. Now the dabs, like they're gel beads. So what they will do is they will reignite with moisture, okay? So I put that hole, I fill that hole up pretty decently, and then what I do is I grab some of the dirt that's here, and I just cover the dabs with some of this dirt. And you've already dumped liquid in it, so just cover it with dirt, and that contains that scent in this scrape a little longer. And you have some dabs that are out, but that dirt, sometimes you'll come in and that'll be scraped up, like they're sniffing in, they find those dabs and they dig in there. But that just keeps them in one spot and concentrates it right in the middle of the scrape where you want that deer to be poking his nose around in. And that's just about it, guys. You can see a really good path here. My stand is, where the heck is my stand? Is right here, about 25 yards away, maybe 25 yards away. So it's right there. I have a good shot here. I don't have to clear anything out. There is a branch right there that I think I am going to clear out right there. But other than that, we got a pretty decent shot right here from my stand, like right to this scrape. So what I'm going to do is I got my camera to set up on this scrape. I got it in video mode. I also believe that you can learn a lot from video than just a still picture. So I will put it on video mode, and we'll be able to tell which way they're coming, which way they're going, how they're reacting in here. So I like to keep my cameras on video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this scrape just simmer right now, and I will show you what I do up around my stand as well with the limb liquor. We also have a great product from Jinx'Em Scents. It's called limb liquor, and that's a non-sexual attractant. But we're gonna go and I'll show you what I do with that around my stand. Stay tuned. All right, guys, well, there's my vine. There is the scrape. You can see the dabs, the hole that I covered up with the dabs. There's some dabs in the scrape with the dominant buck urine. So that is set for now. We got about a month left until our hunting season starts. And then over here, the camera's probably picking me up already. I I have the wildlife game cam up in the tree, so basically it is looking over the scrape right there, and it's warm out. I got a little bit of sweat brewing here, so I'm glad I have that foam, and I'll put that foam in my hair and everything, and it keeps me scent free, or at least it battles against all the, you know, bacteria and stuff that grows. So, all right guys, so the Jinx'Em Scents mock scrape is fired up. We're ready to go. I'm going to show you my stand and what I do with our limb licker scent as well. Stay tuned. All right guys, so you can see my tree stand is right up there. Now I got a tree in front of me here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that tree out of the way, and then I'm going to spray the limb licker on branches around my tree. So let me clear this tree out, and then I will be right back, and I'll show you what I do with the limb licker. All right guys, so basically you can see this tree that fell right here, and it fell right in line with my tree right there. So what I did was, it's kind of big to cut up and like move around and make so much noise. So what I did was I just moved it over to the right of my tree right here. So I moved all that stuff right here. So what that's going to prevent is, I have my stand right up in that tree there. What that's going to prevent is deer being right under me. They will be in a perimeter around me 10 to 15 yards, which makes it a little safer for me for scent and stuff like that. So what I did was I just moved it around. I put it all right here next to my tree, so I have a nice easy path to walk on. And then boom, I do this, and then I get up in my stand, and that's 21 foot right there, guys. So, and I got up high to see across this flat. Now, I will be spraying the limb licker, so let me just show you what I'm gonna do here in a second. All right guys, so the Jinx'Em Scent limb licker, I also carry that with me. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm actually going to walk around my stand in the perimeter of about 20 yards. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray this a little bit on some branches that I think are points of interest, like where I want to shoot to. So I will just go out 20 yards. I'll spray a little bit on a limb or an overhanging branch, because sometimes when you do that, now this is a non-sexual attractant, but sometimes when you spray a branch like that, you'll see a scrape under it, like a buck. You'll know it's a buck that stopped there, because a doe won't come up and scrape like a buck does. So when I put this limb licker up, it will attract does and bucks, but if there's a little scrape under it, then you know it's sort of like a little bit of buck activity in the area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around here, not a ton, I'm not going to spray everywhere, but I'm going to spray in just points of interest where I want deer to stop, and I'm usually put that in my shooting lanes. So limb licker, guys, it's a non-sexual attractant, but there's just some good stuff in here that the deer really like, so go over and check that out. Get yourself a bottle of this. If you just want to see an area to see if there's deer in the area, then you just spray this on the limb, put a camera on it, and see what comes in. All right guys, we're gonna go and make our way around and spray. We'll be right back. Go. All right guys, so I went around my perimeter. You got the idea of me just spraying some overhanging branches. I did it at about 5 locations in this area just to get some scent out there. It even helps as like a cover scent to let the deer know, like to hide that you were in here with the deer. So, and it's also an attractant. Like I said, check that out, limb licker on Jinx'Em Scent website. I have my link in the description of this video, so go over and you can save. If you use my code OFFTHEHOOKOUTDOORS, you can save money on your next order. So go over, they have a lot of great products. They have a lot of hunting gear, arrows, broadheads, things like that. They have wise eye cameras. So go over, check it out, browse the website, and I think there'll be something. If you're a hunter, they have something for you, believe me. So that's gonna end the video, guys. My mock scrape video and how I charge up my scrapes with Jinx'Em Scents. So everything's done. We got the camera on, and I will be doing an update video to show you footage of that camera coming up here in the future. The season's about a month away, so I wanted to let everybody know good luck this season. Have a safe hunting season. Get out there, get in the woods, enjoy it. Take a kid. out with you. I'll be having Theo out. We have a really nice buck down at my camp in Uniontown. So we're going to be, hopefully my dad or my son can get on that 10-point down there. And my dad has some of my scents, and he's going to be using them down there as well. So we got about a month left before the season. Get out, get your scrapes set up. Make sure, if they're not already set up, get them set up here within the next week or two. And yeah, good luck this season. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. So please share this out. Hit that like button and make sure your notifications are turned to all, because we do giveaways, and we upload every Wednesday. Or at least once a week we do upload, so you'll be notified whenever we upload new videos and do giveaways as well. So that's it for the video, guys. I wanted to thank you. Everybody have a safe and happy hunting season. And like I always say, guys, take a kid fishing or hunting. We want to preserve our sport and pass it on to future generations. And we'll see you.